regime. Those in other cities like Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutaro, and Gweru, among others, who cannot travel to Harare, protest from wherever you are. Your voice counts. Zimbabwe cannot afford an extra day with Emerson in office. Under Section 212 of the Constitution, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is duty bound to protect the nation, its people, and its interests. Likewise, under Section 219, the duty of the Zimbabwe Republic Police is to protect life and property, uphold the law, as well as maintain peace and order. The same Constitution gives people the right to protest peacefully. To the military and police, we plead with you not only to respect the democratic rights of citizens to protest peacefully, but also ensure their safety. We appeal and look up to you. So, on Friday, 17 October, fellow Zimbabweans, let us all rise as one. Our message is clear. We demand an end to corruption with impunity, state capture, abuse of office, the mutilation of our constitution. Emerson must be gone, and Gananda must be arrested. Here is our roadmap. Firstly, please note, we will now gather at the Africa Unity Square, not the Robert Mugabe Square as previously announced. Secondly, we will then march to addresses of identified Ghana to enact citizens arrest. I will share the addresses of our 10 critical targets. To addresses of identified Ghanaians to enact citizens arrest. I will share the addresses of our 10 critical targets. 1. Kudakwashi. Number 4, Nyangaretungo Close, Valentine Park, Borodale, Harare. 2. Wikino Chivayo, 1352/3, Gletwin Road, Shishawasha Hills, Harare. Former Police Commissioner Augustine Chiwuri's house. 3. Scott Sakupanya, 32 Bosco Bell Drive, Highlands, Harare. 4. Mutuli Mule, 383 Highlands, Glen Road, Umuzindel, Harare. 5. George Guamatanga, 39 9 Dacomi Drive, Chisipiti, Harare. 6 John Mangunya, 163 Gaydon Road, Grayton Park, Harare. 7 Jacob Mafume, 110 Coronation Drive, Greendale. 8 Daniel Garwe, 9 Delishungwayo. We will give you other addresses on due course. Thirdly, we will head to State House on Saturday to remove Emerson. We will leave State House and the streets only when Emerson is dismantled. As you have observed, this week we sent letters to Emerson appealing for the arrest of Ziganandas, Kudakwashe, Tagurei, Wikinoti Bayo, Scott Champanya, and others. Unfortunately, Emerson has been protecting them. So this Friday is the day to end Emerson's corrupt rule and secure our future. Come out in your numbers to dismantle this corrupt regime. Corruption weighs heavily on ordinary people. We can no longer continue to be spectators anymore. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Zimbabwe. Pachi pamwe mhuri yeZimbabwe. Nguva yatakatamirira tose yasvika. Musi wa17 October, this Friday, kusura mangwana, tinokubirisai mose marudzi ose emuZimbabwe kuti muuye muHarare tizoratidzira sekuwirirana kwatakaita tipedze matambudziko. Kwamuri imwimwi mawo veterans, tinotenda mawo veterans edu, maona kuti mawo veterans edu mafoma Zipra ati ari kuuya ese. Ndo vatakatarisa kuti kuma foma Zana muuye mese povo yedu inenge yakatarisira kwamuri kuti muipe direction, because imwimwi ndimi makauya neindependence. Imwimwi mauya neindependence hamuna kumboienjoya macomrades. Vana venyu havana kumboienjoya. Vazukuru venyu havana kana kumboienjoya. The same applies kupovo yedu, haina kana kumboenjoya independence. Saka iyi yatakuita musi weFriday tinoiti final push. Zimbabwe will never be the same again. Weaiti bise utongi hwaEmerson nezvigaranda zvake. Kwamuri masoja yedu nemapurisa, bumbiro remutemo kana kuti constitution yedu inotaura iyo kuti Zimbabwe Defense Forces basa rayo is to protect the nation, its people and its interest, not to protect munhu kana kuti protecta kaklike vanhu vashomanana. Saka basa rayo nderekuprotecta nyika nevanhu nemainterest ayo. KuZimbabwe Republic Police, right? Tinoapira kwamuri kuti muone kuti constitution yedu inotaura kuti kudii. Hakuna mupurisa asingazivi kuti chaakapindira basa akapindira kuti aite chii. Section 219, right, of our constitution inotaura kuti mapurisa should protect life, property, rule of law, maintain peace and order. Ndo basa remapurisa. Mapurisa nemasoja, muri masoja evanhu nekuti emunhu. Muri mapurisa evanhu, saka tinokumirisai mapurisa nemasoja. Batanai neruzhinji rwevanhu. Vana veZimbabwe vashupika. Tichisanganisirawo nemwi mese vashupika. Kune vemachechi vedu, vemachechi ndimunotonyatsokuziva kunetseka kuri kuita mhuri yeZimbabwe. Tinokumirisai vemachechi, right, kuti namatirai nyika yedu, nyamatirai nyika yedu. Demonstration iri kuitwa nevanhu, kana kuti protest iri kuitwa nevanhu, iitike munyararo, ibudirire, zvinangwa zvavari kuda zvibudirire. Mhuri yeZimbabwe mafambiro atichaita, right, takanga takaurirana pakutanga kuti tichasangana pana Robert Mugabe Square, tachinja takuungana paAfrica Unity Square. PaAfrica Unity Square ndeapa pakati peMickles Hotel neOld Parliament Buildings, papaki irapo iyo. Ndo pataakuungana, taungana ipapo, tichamacha, tichienda kudzimba dzezvigananda kunoita yatinoti citizens arrest. Zvigananda zvacho masitata. Then musi weSaturday tose tinomacha tichienda kuState House, kunokupa State House, kumeka sure kuti Mnangagwa corrupt rule yake, right, munyika yasvika kumagumo. Saka tinokumirisai mhuri yeZimbabwe. Tinokumirisai mhuri yeZimbabwe. Kana paine kusaurirana kwamunoita apa, ngatibatanei, ngatisiyei madifferences edu pasaidi, tonangana nenyaya yekuti tisunungure nyika yedu. Mhuri yeZimbabwe, ndinokutendai, ngatisanganei musi wa17 October, musi weFriday. I thank you, mhuri yeZimbabwe. Geza, Comrade Bombshell. The moment we've been yearning for is upon us. In just 2 days, we'll flag the streets of Harare to reclaim our dignity from a corrupt and indifferent regime. Those in other cities like Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutaro, and Gweru, among others, who cannot travel to Harare, protest from wherever you are. Your voice counts. Zimbabwe cannot afford an extra day with Emerson in office. Under Section 212 of the Constitution, the Zimbabwe Defense Forces is duty bound to protect the nation, its people, and its interests. Likewise, under Section 219, the duty of the Zimbabwe Republic Police is to protect life and property, uphold the law, as well as maintain peace and order. The same Constitution gives people the right to protest peacefully. To the military and police, we plead with you not only to respect the democratic rights of citizens to protest peacefully, but also ensure their safety. We appeal and look up to you. So, on Friday, 17 October, fellow Zimbabweans, let us all rise as one. Our message is clear. We demand an end to corruption with impunity, state capture.
I also want to thank everyone who is here. I'm sure it will be a good thing that we take some time to just speak about what Comrade Geza was saying and is calling the people of Zimbabwe to do. If you want to contribute to the discussion, if you want to say something, please feel free to request the mic and we have a good conversation. But as we wait for the others that are going to come, I think Mr. Promise Nkwananzi promised to come and speak. Barbara and others will also be joining us shortly. But thank you. We also want to hear what you think of Geza's address.
Falls short when it comes to getting the people involved, getting all citizens involved, getting everyone who is supposed to be there. He is speaking very important issues, but as we have always said, I think there is supposed to be prior engagements before his speeches, so that when he's speaking to people, he reiterates and he tells people that he has spoken to all the stakeholders, all the key organizations. I like it that today he even mentioned the churches. challenging someone and a certain group of people that are trying to trample upon our constitution. Because my reasoning, and I want to also hear other people's reasoning, my reasoning tells me that if we, as the Zimbabwean people, fold our arms and stand akimbo, whilst Emerson Mnangagwa is running roughshod on our constitution, he changes the constitution to the years that he wants. Remember when they went to Bulawayo, the word was they wanted him to go up to 2030. But now the 2030s have become the 2035s, which means they are no longer really talking about 2030. They are now talking about 2035. Why did they do that? Why are they doing that? It is because we, the citizens of Zimbabwe, will not point fingers at anyone because the responsibility lies on all of us. We, the citizens of Zimbabwe, we gave them an inch. And when you give a dictator an inch, he takes a mile, he takes a yard, he takes a kilometer. And now they're talking about 2035. And if we keep quiet, we do not do anything about the constitution, we do not do anything about stopping them, we do not do anything about defending the constitution, I am telling you, in 2035 will come and they will already be talking about 2040. Because what stops them from doing that? If they've been talking about 2030, they saw no opposition. Now they're talking about 2035. They take us to 2035. The next thing, it will be 2040. It's like Emerson Mnangagwa is waiting, he's buying time so that his children can be, at the required age and they can take over. And that's exactly what will happen. These Kudata Guires and other people that they're talking about, they will just be placeholders. But eventually, that's where we'll be going. Is that what we want? Do we now then start talking? Do we now then start opposing? Do we now then start saying we don't want this when the constitution has already been changed? If they change it once, they will change it again. So on that part, I really appreciate anyone who is standing up to defend our constitution, to defend the country's constitution. Please bear in mind that this is not a ZANU-PF constitution. Some of us, we fought for this constitution, this very constitution that is there right now. Yes, we know it has loopholes. Yes, we know that some of the things that we fought for have never been enacted, but we fought for it. We were involved in the constitution making, and myself, I was a teacher in the rural areas. We were telling people what to do. We did everything that we could so that this constitution was put in place. So how do we not defend the constitution that we put in place? Bad as it is the constitution of the land. And I repeat, it's not ZANU-PF's constitution. If it was ZANU-PF's constitution, well and good, we have no dog in that fight. But if it is a national constitution, if it is Zimbabwe's constitution, I think it is your duty. It is every Zimbabwean's duty. It is every patriotic Zimbabwean's duty to go out and defend that constitution. People die in other countries. They die defending the constitution. They get arrested defending the constitution. How do we stand aside and just look and just be observers when Emerson Mnangagwa and his cabal are trying to mess with the constitution? They're trying to bastardize the constitution, for lack of a better word. We cannot allow that to happen as Zimbabweans. Please, if you want to speak, I'm seeing Darawangu, Mr. Mateo, please do request the mic so that we can have a conversation. I'm sure you don't want to hear Chief Shoshe lamenting here on his own. We also want to hear other people's views. Another thing that I can pick up is we wait for others to come on. Change radio, please do give other people the mic. Another thing that I picked out that is a positive from his address today was when he addressed the police and the army. And I think that's I just hope the police and army will listen, because they are not they don't have their own shops. They are suffering just like any other Zimbabwean. If things go up, they go up for everyone, including the police and the army. If they don't have access to basic needs like hospital, school, and the like, their children still go to the same schools. They can't afford. The police, the army, they all can't afford to take their children to private schools. They cannot. So they are in the public schools. They are there where there are no books, where the teachers are not being paid. So I don't understand. I don't see any reason why why the police and the army will be beating up people or shooting people. They are actually shooting themselves, because I can tell you personally, I know if we allow Gananda to take over, what we are seeing now, what we are going through right now, I think Comrade, Mr. Changrai once said something that that a lot of people ended up saying. What is he saying? Because he had said, "I'm Satima Tambura Zimbabweans." He mentioned that at some point when he was trying to get people to get in the streets, and eventually people got in the streets. If you remember the Save Zimbabwe demonstrations that we did, that were so powerful. Now that filled the streets of Harare. Morgan Tsvangirai had said something to that effect. Kuti kana matambura muchapinda streets, kana manzwa nenhamo muchapinda street. He faced a lot of criticism, but that was the truth. Kana vanhu vatambura vanopinda streets. You know, and you don't have to wait for Geza. You don't have to wait for Nelson Chamisa. You don't have to wait for anyone. I know some people right now are hiding behind the finger. Oh, the President Chamisa is not part of this. What do you want President Chamisa to do? You want him to tell you to go in the streets. And when he tells you to go in the streets, I know what the people of Zimbabwe will be saying. They will be saying, oh, he should be there. He should be in front. At Tambura. When we are still saying that, at Tambura. Kana vanhu vatambura vanopinda mustreet. I want to give to Mr. Mateo, and then we'll give others that would have gone. But as I left, I want to tell the people of Zimbabwe that we do have liberators. Liberators do not exist. Geza is a liberator. President Chamisa is not a liberator. Job Scala is not a liberator. NIBT is not a liberator. Name them. Even Nelson Mandela is not a liberator. You can bring him from wherever he is and take him to Zimbabwe. He will not be your liberator. Liberators do not exist. Che Guevara said it. The people liberate themselves. So let's not wait for someone, for a certain personality to come and tell us to get in this. Iwe murume uri panapa uda kuudzwa nemumwe murume kuti ena unorwira nyika yako kana kuti ena unorwira kodzero yako. No, it doesn't happen like that. You know, people liberate themselves. Look at what happened in is it Madagascar? It's the people that just decided to rise. It has happened everywhere. People just get in the streets and they start demonstrating. And the moment you do that, even the army, the police, they will join you. Ndawang Mateo, thank you so much for joining. Please go ahead, just let us know what you think about what Comrade Geza said and what you think the people of Zimbabwe do.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, changes. The way I'm looking at things is that we have an opportunity to come together 17th of October just as we came again together on the 17th of November 2017. But an advice, let us not go around a person. Let us congregate, come together for around an idea, around a cause, around in our case as Zimbabweans, our cause is straightforward. It can be seen by anybody, can be felt by anybody, whether you're in Zimbabwe or in the diaspora. You can feel exactly where the country is. But I would say that after, even during that same demonstration, let not people rush to say they want Chiwenga to take over. No, 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 no. What we should actually then demand in marching is a transitional authority that is going to move Zimbabwe forward, that is going to look into reforms to ensure that when we have an election, it is free, fair, and credible. The problem that we had in 2017 was that we went in, yes, thinking that we are going to have a new dispensation, which was going to be different from the way Mugabe and ZANU had been ruling. But what we now realize is that ZANU is ZANU. We have 45 years. Some of us now, Tatuchembera. No, 45 years, Zapera. Chine ZANU. But I can tell you what, ZANU, and this is how to describe it now. It's a bit difficult. Because in Zimbabwe, diaspora, a lot of people they want to move forward. But on the other hand, unfortunately, the citizens are not united, divided. I would rather an opportunities come whereby we unite around an idea, around a cause that we of us feels. That is my take. That is my take. I think it will be a good idea as long as we know what we are doing, as long as it is clear what we are demonstrating for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mateo. Very, very, very wise words. Let's rally behind an idea, not a personality. That's how it should be. The ideas are there. The things that should be uniting Zimbabweans are there. The issue of corruption, we are seeing it. We are feeling it. It is affecting us, whether you are in the diaspora or where you are in Zimbabwe. That is a common goal. That is a common cause that should unite Zimbabweans, that should bring Zimbabweans together. Because with corruption, our country will never move forward. For decades, for years, ZANU-PF has been hiding behind the issue of sanctions, saying Zimbabwe is where it is because of sanctions. But the truth of the matter has now been preempted. The Al Jazeera documentary and now the information, very intricate information that we are getting from Comrade Geza is showing and telling us and showing every Zimbabwean who cares to know that billions of dollars are finding themselves in people's individual pockets, not in the country's purse. The minerals that are being sold, the money never gets to the Reserve Bank. Even if it gets to the Reserve Bank, it gets siphoned out of the Reserve Bank. Everyone is seeing that. Everyone is by that. So that in itself is good enough, must be good enough together, to unite people together, and we all rally around that. But now we are even being given another bigger issue, the issue of the Constitution. Why shouldn't people rally behind the issue of the constitution and say, we are now defending the constitution. We must defend the constitution, because if we set that precedent that we allow an individual to just change the constitution willy-nilly, then it means the next person, whoever it might be anyone, it might be Mdala wangu Mateo, he will say, oh, it was done before by some other people who will do it, and the constitution will continue being trembled upon. So all those are issues that should bring Zimbabweans together, and I really hope that this is what happens on Friday. People realize that we are only our own liberators, and we are the ones that are suffering. And if we do not rise, if we do not speak up, if we do not do something about this situation will perpetuate and will continue to suffer. Zimbabweans will continue to suffer. I just want to ask you, Mr. Mateo, you mentioned something with regards to citizen demands. You said the citizens should not be told that Chiwenga is now taking over. What if you are talking about demands? What other demands should citizens make? What other demands should citizens, whether to Geza or on the day of the demonstration, that people will be holding, that this is what people want? What demands can citizens make? Mr. Mateo, can you hear me? Change radio, can you hear me? Okay. I was asking Mr. Mateo, I think he has gone off his mic a little bit. Please do request the mic so that we can have a conversation. Chief Social can spend the whole day speaking if you if that is what people want. But I would love to have a conversation. I would love to hear what other people are saying, especially about the demands that can be made. Yesterday we had a space right here on Change Radio, and we were speaking about the mistakes that we made in 2017, and we did recognize, we did say that apart from not making our own demands as a people, we didn't even have our own placards that were saying the things that citizens wanted even then in 2017. People were forced to be holding placards that had ZANU-PF's agenda, and that's not how you do a demonstration. Those placards speak 1,000 words. So I think that's something that people should be thinking about right now before Friday, that when they march, they should be holding their own placards that are speaking what they want to see. Mr. Mateo, can you talk about the demands that people can make? Change Radio, can you please give the mic to people that are here? I'm seeing Dobbs, I'm seeing Caspar, Mashax, Valari, Emerson, Nyambo, all these people that are here. Just try to give them the mic so that we can have a conversation. Whilst we are doing that, you can play the audio that we got from Mr. Timber, who was supposed to be part of this conversation earlier. You can play that whilst people request, and then we can continue.
I'm honored to join this important conversation on the defense of our Constitution, the single most sacred covenant. Between the state and its citizens. Why is this conversation mattering now? We meet at a moment when the rule of law in Zimbabwe faces its greatest test since 2013. The ruling party has now made official its intention to extend the president's term to 2030. A move that openly violates the spirit and the letter of the constitution that the people themselves adopted in 2013. This is not a technical amendment. It is an attempt to rewrite the people's will. And once the will of the people can be rewritten by those in power, democracy ceases to exist. Our constitution is unambiguous. The president's authority to govern derives directly from the people, not from parliament, and not from the party in power. Parliament may make laws, but it cannot manufacture legitimacy. That legitimacy flows only from the people's consent, expressed through free and fair elections within fixed constitutional limits. Any extension of presidential terms without a referendum is therefore unconstitutional and illegitimate. The so-called 2030 agenda is being sold as continuity to finish projects or compensate for lost COVID years. But in truth, it is continuity of something else. It is continuity of unaccountability, continuity of corruption, continuity of power without consent. The Constitution sets limits precisely to prevent that. Term limits are not an inconvenience. They are a safeguard, a safety valve to ensure that power remains a trust, not a possession. When constitutional order collapses, it is not politicians who pay the price. It is citizens. When the state loses credibility, investors retreat, jobs disappear, and poverty deepens. Rule of law is not an abstract idea. It is the foundation of every school built, every hospital equipped, and every job created. And when 3 billion can vanish into private hands, as recent leaks allege, while power is being extended instead of accountability enforced, it becomes clear that corruption is no longer a crime. It has become a system. That is why I've called for a full forensic audit of all public contracts tied to those allegations. Before anyone speaks of new political terms, let us first account for the billions already stolen from the people's future. What is the pathway forward? Should it be renewal or a regression? Defending the Constitution is not a rebellion. It is responsibility. Our generation must now choose. Will we be remembered as the citizens who allowed the Constitution to be torn apart, or those who stood up peacefully, lawfully, but firmly to defend it? Across Africa, citizens are rediscovering their power. Senegal said no to term extensions. Zambia, Malawi, Mauritius renewed leadership peacefully through the ballot. So did Botswana. Zimbabwe can do the same. We must move from fear to faith, faith in institutions, faith in citizens, and faith in the rule of law. In closing, moderator, in the end, this is not about personalities. It is about principle. Power must never outlive its purpose, and constitutions must never be written for convenience. Let us defend our constitution not because it is perfect, but because it is ours. And because in defending it, we defend the idea of Zimbabwe itself. I'm honored to join this important conversation on the defense of our constitution. The single
must be thinking of how they can defend the constitution. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the diaspora, you can be in Zimbabwe, you can be somewhere else, but there is definitely something that you can do. You can write, you can take part in these public discourses. You can do something, you can assist, you can help the people that are able to do that. Those that will be demonstrating, they need placards, they need what? Able to provide that, you just play your part in defending the constitution.
Let's not watch and wonder when things are happening. Let's be those citizens that get involved, especially when the land's constitution is under threat, is under attack. This is the worst mistake that we can make for ourselves. But this goes beyond ourselves. This transcends us as individuals. It transcends us as a generation because it does affect future generations. The people will be saying, what happened? You guys, how did you allow the constitution to be trampled upon like that? So let's do what we can. Let's support what is going on, especially that is in defense of the constitution. We are not here as Change Radio supporting any of the warring parties or factions in ZANU-PF. We are here to defend the constitution, and there are measures that we can take as citizens to ensure that we are not aiding and abetting another dictator to be placed in power. When we get in the streets, people get in the streets, and then when the army and other people are saying, now we are there, we are now putting Chiwenga in place of Mnangagwa, we say no to that. The Sudanese did it. And it was actually the women of Sudan that did that. They went in the streets with the soldiers, and the soldiers said, we are done. We have taken over the country. And the women of Sudan said, we are having none of that nonsense. They refused to get out of the streets. That's also a strategy that people can discuss and actually implement on Friday. And as I round up, as I finish, I want to tell you that Friday is not the Alpha and Omega. I know a lot of people want this struggle to end yesterday. They think, we think sometimes that the struggle is a quick fix or it's a walk in the park. It's not. So it's not going to end on Friday. Friday is just the beginning. We still have a long way to go, and we need to keep fighting. Tofana kutokunya, tirambe tichienda. Remember, this after their conference, we expect to, if it goes well, if it goes through their conference, we expect them to take it to Parliament. We will fight in Parliament, and we have to do everything that we can to ensure that those parliamentarians that are there, I know for sure, and I'm confident that not all of them have already sold out. There are some parliamentarians that are there that are prepared to defend the constitution, to defend or to stand with the people of Zimbabwe. So there is a fight that we need to put up at Parliament. After that, we expect them to take it to a referendum, and that's another platform again for us to go and fight, so that we make it difficult for them to rig. I know they would want to rig, but we defeated ZANU-PF at another constitutional referendum. I don't see why we cannot come together and mobilize ourselves and vote in that referendum in such a manner that it will be very difficult even for them to rig that referendum. So the fight goes on, folks. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, Mr. Jason Mateo, who spoke here. We appreciate you. I know they were having technical issues and we could not take more speakers, but just your being here, listening, I know you're going to spread the message. Change Radio, thank you so much for this program. Until we meet again in other programs. Thank you. Goodbye. Good day.
Change Radio. Change Radio.